Hello, my sweets. My name is Chris Farah, and welcome to my channel where today, it's Wednesday, December 17th. It's 10:06 p.m. where I am, London town, where I will talk to you about 90 Day Fiance. This is The Other Way. This is season 7. I wrote down episode 11, but you know what, my loves? It's 15. I think I must have done that wrong. Hello, how are you? I'm going to change that now, but on Facebook it'll stay the same. I'm so excited to hang out with you guys. Here's the thing. I am in London. I'm in a hotel. I'm not quite sure what the Wi-Fi is. I know what it is. I know what Wi-Fi is. What's it going to be like for all of you right now? I hope it's good. I certainly hope. Um, it's just that if I was to be honest with you, usually you get to see me with professional sound and lighting, and right now there's none of that. I'm just fully staring at the lamp that is I took the head off a lamp and just aimed it at my face from a bedside table. And there's no microphone. So I'm so sorry. But besides that, besides the fact that it is a little messy, I'm so thrilled to be able to talk to you today, even though I'm not at home. Hi, 10 people in the room. Thank you so much for being here. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. Please give me a little comment. Please tickle my algorithm. Algorithm? That's the word. However you may, just to give me a little like love. Physical touch is my love language. Also gifts. So touch is free. It's a free gift that you can give me, but also but also me. So thank you so much. I'm excited to talk to you. Hello. Did you guys like this episode? I like this episode of Toe. It's funny because Manon, or we'll start with Manon and Anthony. Manon has, early on in the season, taken the role of villain like quite easily. She knows it. And I feel like, as well as the 90 Day cast members, must be sat down at some point and are like, hey, it's your first season on the show, and this is how usually it goes. We show you in your life, and, it's never incredibly attractive and pleasant. 90 Day Fiance isn't like about putting up a veneer and showing someone a perfect person that has everything together. It's just not a watchable thing. So if you're on the show, you have to assume that it's going to be like some amount of holy fuckness. What are they doing? How is this happening? How could they think this is okay? Like, there's a little bit of that. And so I feel like Manon, who's a full influencer, like, didn't even try and lie about that. Was just like, I'm an influencer. I'm a body positivity influencer. It's what's been happening for me. I have like created a whole Instagram profile for myself and social media marketing agency. And obviously she gets and is on the show and, is very happy to get all of the views. I get it, girl. Me too. So much so that she has actually interacted with me on the internet, in the internet. She wasn't at the 90 Day Fiance holiday party. No cast member from The Other Way was there except for Jenny and Sumit. And, that blew my mind. And we can talk about that a little bit later. You guys know I went to the 90 Day Fiance holiday party in New York. Did I mention that? I don't know if I did. Did you know? Did I talk about it? Did you see a picture? Did you see the 10 billion pictures? Did you read my AMA? I don't know. I'm kidding. Thank you. But obviously Jenny was a shock there. But besides that, she was the only cast member there from The Other Way. And Happily Ever After had just ended. And so that's one thing. But Manon, obviously, I haven't met, but on the internet, on TikTok, she writes back frequently. She's a big writer back to comments, not just me. Like, if you comment on the official 90 Day Fiance Instagram, she will obviously write back. That's like not even what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like she found videos on my own account that she like responded to. So she's, searching the internet for herself. So she wants to be famous. So don't we all? I would like that as well. At the same time, she's on the show. And she knows that she has had like at least, a bunch of episodes looking like a crazy person, like screams all the time. And I'm not saying she isn't, but she mentioned in a comment on my TikTok how her edit is thusly to make her look like a crazy person, and they're not giving us a lot of the like beautiful moments of her playing with Ben and like her parents, Ben's grandparents playing with him and all that stuff. And so when I saw this episode, I was like, "Oh, that's all the editing." They kind of like gave us this episode where suddenly it's like, well, a few weeks have passed and she and, Anthony are doing great now. Like, we're supposed to believe that past the goat cheese, past the mime, the sex dungeon hotel really worked, especially that uniform. And now they're okay. She's been spending time with her friend Dorian, and they're building their Provence goat milk soap empire. Now, we're supposed to also believe, and this is where it gets a little confusing, that for some reason, every time she went to this business establishment to hang out with Dorian and, think about the soaps, Anthony thought that she was going there to prepare things for like how like the getting of a house. And I was like, well, how many times did she go to that office? Like, and how much paperwork do you need to do like hours on hours in the office, I wonder. So it was kind of a convoluted idea that Anthony didn't know that she was planning the soap business, even though she told Anthony day two, like, we're in Provence. We like soap here in Provence. And then, episode 5, it's like, I love goat milk. So all of this to say, we're supposed to now believe that the big crux of this is that she has brought Anthony to her and Dorian's office, and we're going to let Anthony in on the big secret that Manon is a workaholic, likes to make money, and is starting a business. But we already knew that. And he already knew it. Okay, so that's why it's like, okay. Now, I like French soap. It feels, again, a little like L'Oeil Sautant, but, different. I mean, you know, there's shea butter, there's lavender, goat milk. Maybe it's just the fact that it's goat milk or derived is supposed to be like what's setting her apart. And I get it, goat milk, Cleopatra, milk baths, I guess. Um, and I think that at the same time, I think it's great for, if you're going to want to be an entrepreneur and use your social media empire to sell something, it's good to like sell a product that you have faith in and that you have knowledge of. So it does make sense of this French lady to sell this French soap. I would have to know how it smells. The smell is the most important thing. I don't really care what it's made of. I mean, I don't want it to be made of like blood and guts, you know what I'm saying? But like, I want soaps to be clean, ha ha ha, and I want them to smell good. So that's the most important thing. I really do love lavender though. Ow. Manon in her like business attire is this red blazer with gold buttons. And we remember that she, fully thinks of herself as a business casual baddie. She lives in it. Now, one thing looks wise that I would really like her aesthetic wise to change is that she kind of has this tendency to wear her hair like super flat, middle part against her head. And so in this red blazer, she kind of has this like flat, kind of like fucked up. And by fucked up, I mean it's where she parts her hair is a little greasy and it's 14 colors. And it's a little bit also sad because Dorian, her friend's like sitting there of a long time, and Dorian has her hair, honey, in a very deep side part, and I do love it. I get that certain things make you like whatever look old or whatnot, and I am annoyed by that because I don't want to be someone who like has to like think about what the kids are wearing. And for a long time, we were told that like cool kids wear their hair down the middle. And the weird thing was that's how it was in the 90s. Like I remember it being much cooler to wear your hair in the middle, like down that part. And what is frustrating about that is that I don't look good. I look bad with a middle part. I think I look better with a little like side of everything. Like I'm not someone that's going to try and take like a picture head on. Like who looks good like That's what a middle part is. A middle part is like face full on just staring at you. Like a side part, like gives you a little like it gives you a little something. Now here's the thing, obviously, I know I'm dealing with. Don't even worry about it because I very much know I'm dealing with like the biggest forehead of the entire world. So lots of people will be like, bitch, get bangs. And I've had them. And if I had bangs, I wouldn't worry about a part at all, would I? But you know what? Me, Rihanna, Rihanna and I, we never talk, but we think about our foreheads a lot because, that's where our foreheads are, where we think, literally, we think about where we think of our foreheads, in our foreheads. And we like them. We like our foreheads. I think, I mean, it makes us look smart. So there. Uh, Anthony comes into the office and Manon's like, "Hello, Anthony. Hello." Now, Anthony got a haircut. So don't worry, I'm still talking about hair. Anthony shows up with a full buzz cut, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Anthony. He looks good." I was happy about that haircut. And then on TikTok, sorry, on Instagram, I commented I liked his haircut, and then Manon wrote back, and she's like, "I like his hair long usually. He cut it because of me." I was like, "Okay." Which is so funny because basically, when I saw Jenny, did I mention I went to the 90-day holiday party? When I saw Jenny there, right? I was like, "Jenny, I also like Sumit's hair this season. Sumit has long hair." And she was like, "Oh, yeah, I told him to grow it out." I was like, "Good job, Jenny." It was shocking to see Jenny there for lots of reasons. We'll talk about that later. So, okay, don't even worry. I know I'm holding it off. Okay, so he gets there and he has that fresh cut. And she, basically is like, "Oh, I lied to you. When I come here, I told you I was just trying to buy a house, but turns out I make a big soap empire. And then Anthony has like an awkward conversation where Dorian's there and he's like, "Well, we're supposed to be like working on our family and like buying a home and like, oh, if you're starting this business empire, like it's, what's it going to be like cost wise for the family?" Now, he's not working. They have a baby. They're living with her mom. So like there's no realm of a world in which I can really consider that Anthony thinks that he is just going to keep Manon and him and himself and Ben home for like months and upon years and have no money come in, not never. I don't know if like Anthony's family's rich, like the same ones we met episode 1, but he doesn't seem to know how like life works. That like things cost money. Like I don't understand. Like he really, because he's not bringing anything home. So I don't quite understand why he would be so upset at someone for being like, let's get some money happening in this bank account. We've been bleeding. I mean, I guess I'm supposed to figure it out. Like, guess I'm supposed to be like, it's his whole thing. He just really wants his family together. But she's like, "I want you to support me." And she's meaning like, be happy that I'm having a job and like bringing money into our family. And he's like, "You don't think I support you by staying at home with the kid?" And it's like, no. No, I don't. He just seems a little bit like a freeloader sometimes, like I guess freeloader is the word. I don't quite get his rationale. I don't know if how long he was in the army when he came out, if they told him how money works. I'm not quite sure, but he's just like, "I didn't know that you were building this stuff," and I'm like weirded out that you would have this conversation in front of your friend. It seems like a conversation we should have together, and I want to be like, "Oh, she does not care about your financial opinion. Why would she have a conversation with you about her financial business? She does not respect your opinion, Anthony." It's like talking to a brick wall. Because at the end of the day, she's going to do whatever she wants to do, which is what she's doing, which is why she didn't tell you she's going to build this business. And your opinion over whether she should or shouldn't is like a moot point. Because unless you are going to turn around and be like, "No, no, no, I want you to stay home with Ben, like we said. So here is all the cash I've saved from my job and also my cam modeling. When you go to sleep, I've been showing my penis online. Here's millions of dollars. Unless it's going to come with information. Oh, I gamble on the side. It turns out I'm very fucking good. So here's hundreds of thousands of dollars. Unless you're going to come with a solution like that, you certainly can't be like, well, don't make money. Stop making money for us. Stop feeding us. Stop being the breadwinner for us. Instead, don't. Just seems absolutely asinine. But he keeps saying it. Also, it's just like, yeah, he can't get a job because he doesn't speak French. It's just that I do think that he can get a job. I think he can teach English. I think he can babysit. He can babysit other bébés. I can say bébé in French. Anyway, but it ends up being that he then sort of like has, at the end of the day, like a sexist conversation where he's like, I just don't know what your work-life balance is going to be. But the truth is this, first of all, if you aren't bringing any money in, you have to have money. Second thing is, you rarely ask males in an entrepreneurial space what their work-life balance is going to be because it's sort of assumed that it's not all on the man to have that balance, but it's all on Manon. Anthony, to me, is kind of like a good for nothing. He's just kind of like a wet noodle that like gets in her way. Like, I don't know. It's so weird to me. How are you gonna have a work-life balance? Ask that to like fucking Jeff Bezos. I don't know. I mean, listen, it's just like it's all of it. Like, I'm not saying a husband can't ask his wife, but he has to like have something to back up his opinion that isn't like holding a baby for 24 hours that you haven't given birth to. God, I feel like this is where I get sexist. Ben, you gotta do something. I mean, Ben is a great kid, but like Anthony, you gotta do something else besides raise this baby. Because now it's like you're delusional. And it's funny because in this scene, Manon's like, I am not Delulu. And it's like, well, I'm not saying you are, but it definitely feels like he is. To me, she's the only person that's made money. Okay, I'm not saying, I'm happy that he was of service to the country. So thank you for your service. But also thank her for her cervix. She gave birth to Ben. You have the good grace to be married to Manon, who gave you a baby and a bank account. Do something. Or get out. Here's the thing. If we're led to believe that Manon is really the most horrible, screamy, yelling person, which I don't think she is, right? Like, I don't think she is. I think that's like part of the editing. Then he would be like the biggest simp wimp to like stay. Kind of like a Luke. But I mean this, I don't think that Manon is 1/29th or whatever math is as toxic as Madeline. And Madeline supposedly is getting everything paid for and is mad that she doesn't have land in her name. Okay. Let's move on, right? Madeline and Luke. So they are moving now. They're getting ready to go to the area of the wedding, but while they're going to the area of their wedding, because they surely are getting married, even though they obviously shouldn't, he decides that he's going to have a business meeting for his resort because, again, they're building a resort. This also makes zero sense because he can't afford the wedding. He couldn't afford like the rest of the down payment for the wedding, but then somehow bought her like a designer dog and also borrowed like less than 5,000 from his dad, who looks like someone who could use that money for his retirement. Luke's dad looks like he's a very nice gentleman, is definitely like comfortable, like financially. He doesn't seem like he's financially insecure. But if you are someone who at the ripe young age of 30 nothing is like an engineer and opening up resorts, to me, you shouldn't also be taking money from your elderly parents who, like, God bless, are near retirement age. That doesn't make any goddamn sense that either. Yeah, buddy, like, don't get married with no money in wherever you are because Colombia, because you decided to be a passport bro, and like get with some girl who looks 4 years old and like screams at you because have you have no respect to your name, then it's palpable. Um, what are we supposed to believe? Are we supposed to believe? Okay, let me go back. We're supposed to believe, I guess, also that she might be pregnant. I don't even know what's a worse thing to get my mind around. Okay. So they're driving right to go see this plot of land. And at the same time, Madeline's like, I don't feel well and I'm dizzy and I'm nauseous, but I have to go because I alone have been doing almost all the meetings. He's not here in the country. I've been going and talking to this man about the plans of my pool or whatever when like, no, no. Madeline is nothing years old and she has no idea what it takes to open a hotel or resort. I don't believe that she has like the wherewithal to go over plans and understand them. But nor do I feel like he does either. So, okay. So then she's like, I can't eat. I've been feeling really bad. I feel so bad, but I look so good. And he's like, mm-hmm. And then she puts on like what looks like a bikini top. She's constantly this season dressed like a Jessica Simpson backup dancer. You know, like it's an interesting look. Now I'm gonna give you this. This is a little shot from her later on in this episode. I want to point out one thing. Yes, of course, the dog. Poor dog. Do you remember how Luke, season one of them, their first season, said that one of his many business ventures was a sunglass line? He had said that he had dated some random girl, an influencer or something like that, and then he had a history of dating women and then throwing money in whatever fucking holes they want him to, like businesses or theirs. And at the same time, he may or may not have, with this one ex or himself, got into a venture of sunglasses. And then that's what he was doing the whole time. And then that didn't work out, right? This season, they're like, oh, the sunglass thing is done. But I will say this. Are these his sunglasses? Because I don't mind them. It's like that's like on the chain. It actually doesn't look bad. She never wears them, but she does have them around her neck. She is sick, as I said. She's driving the white BMW. She has to pull over and throw up. And then he decides to drive, or he asks if she wants him to drive. She does. They're having a great time. They're having I mean, what joy radiating from these two people. I mean, she looks so pissed in one of their like buddy confessional pics, one of their like segment openers, that I think that she's about to like shoot lasers out of her eyes. So in the car, she has the seat back, and then it's like she obviously is nauseous because she's not or maybe pregnant. But the worst part is we're having to watch all of this before they even say the pregnancy word. So we're supposed to again be like, oh, what's happening? As if we don't know immediately that they're going to be playing with that stupid storyline. But anyway, God bless. She's like, I need limes. I need limes. So that he goes to a gas station and buys a bunch of limes, puts them in the back seat. And then later they start the car and she yells at him. She's like, you didn't help me. You didn't get the limes. He's like, the lemons are right back there. They're not lemons, they're limes. And then they have a fight because he didn't like get the limes, and then like take one out and then like cut it and then just like get salt. He says limes and salt to her thing when she's sick. I was a little confused by that because of course I'm like, is it tequila that you're about to, or is she going to have, is all this leading up to a shot of tequila? I'm so confused, but I guess no, just limes and tequila. I'm sorry, limes and salt. She's mad that he didn't take out a lime and put it in her mouth. She feels like when she tells him that she's sick and she can't drive, She wants him to cater to her, and he didn't. He just got the limestone in the back. And so they fight over them. Now, should they get married? Absolutely not. But is that just one reason? Yes. So then they go to this beautiful place. Actually, I'm so sorry. I did write it down. And yet, where did I put it? How did I wrote this down? Oh, yes, I did. Katape. Katape? Sorry, my loves. I'm sure I said it bad. But it's this beautiful, very dense, foresty, gorgeous natural reserve area, right? And a man with a backpack shows up, and then they go over plans. This is where the hotel is going to be. This is where the bar is going to be overlooking the lake. Like, this is where the pool is going to be. And this one man with this backpack, not anyone else, we're like, this seems fake. This doesn't seem real. This man can't afford this resort anyway. This girl has no idea what she's talking about. She doesn't know how to make a resort. I mean, what? Okay. So then they have a conversation, which is the crux of their conversation, which is he has a plot of land, which is um, this resort. At the same time, there's also another plot of land that is where they would have their home. She wants both plots of land in their names, her name and his name. He's like, I want it in my name because I put up the money. It's my money, it's my investment, and I don't know if this is going to last. And she's like, well, it should be in my name because I've been doing all the legwork here. And also, I think a little bit of this thing where she's like, what am I doing if you don't give me what I want? Why would I be with you? And he doesn't want to swallow that. Luke really wants to live in a world where he can be a stupid passport bro who like gets a baby, like a fucking toddler looking of a woman and then girl to like marry him and then live a life of like some rich mafia-esque gangster that's from fucking Fraser Park. That's what he wants his life to be. Now, if that's not real, and she hates him. Madeline does not want to be with Luke for the rest of her life, but she certainly wants money. She talks about being a young girl in the street. She talks about, having dreams. She definitely loves pineapple, usually can't eat it right now. She wants to be taken care of, literally, figuratively, monetarily. She feels that she's a princess and should be taken care of. Now, you and I can agree or disagree with that. But she, to me, has been quite consistent with her wants and needs, which is to be taken care of, like I said. She's a sugar baby. So's Jasmine. So's Anfisa, right? So there's always like this thing where the sugar babies are like, no, 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 no. The transaction is you give me money, you give me money because you should be financially stable. If you, financially stable person, find me attractive, great. But if you are not financially stable, you can't be with me. I require these things. I require these things. You can be Luke or Juno with many other women in this world, and they won't have extensions, and they won't get plastic surgery, and they will be cheaper. And there's even a possibility, more so than the sugar babies, that you could possibly, Juno or Luke, get a female or a man, get anyone to love you. There's a possibility that if Luke and Juno weren't attracted to artificially superficial sugar babies, that they could, in fact, be in a relationship with someone who actually loves them. Now it's a huge ask. But there's no possible way that it happens in their current situation. There is no way in which Madeline loves Luke. I can't tell if Luke doesn't know that or not. To me, he doesn't. To me, he seems like a very incel type man that thinks that all females are a certain way. And so, in order to be with one, all he has to do is find the one he cares about the most and put up with it. The one the one that he thinks is the hottest. The hottest girl to put up with him is who Luke wants to be with. I mean, and hot is relative. Because to me, hot for Luke means someone who looks prepubescent with really bad extensions. Um, it's like weird because it does feel like Gino and Jasmine too, in that there's no one to care about. There's not one person watching the show that's like, I really like Madeline. She seems cool. She seems funny or cool. She seems like she knows what she seems like she has her shit together and she seems like a fun person that I can't wait to watch more and more seasons of. Nope. And you certainly wouldn't say it about Luke. And you certainly wouldn't say it about Gino. After a point, if there is no love, the couple on this show, to me, becomes unwatchable. The only watchable people or couples on the show are ones that, to me, experienced an amount of love that also caused them joy and pain, and we witnessed all of it. Okay, so they have this conversation where Luke's like, "Well, what I want to do is just give you half of the smallest parcel, and I want to renege what I said." It's weird because he actually never said I was going to put your name on all the lines, on all the lots. He actually said, I will put our name on one of the lots. And when he said our name, she heard my name. And when he said one of the lots, she heard all of them. But it's weird because she had asked for that. And then he had retorted with what he said, I will put our name on one of the lots. And she, like, just didn't understand really that that's what he said. And so in this moment, they clarify. And now she understands that he is a cheap fucking asshole and doesn't believe in their love, which he shouldn't. But also, he's dumb. He's a dumb fuck. So she is pouty. She doesn't say that she's not going to marry him. But what she does say is that she's pregnant and that it's his fault because, of course, he's been raw dogging her. Now, if she can make a play with this baby to get him to put her name on both lots, because we're supposed to believe the lots exist and all of that is real. Like, we have to believe all of that to get to this point. And so bear with me. If she does get him to put her name on the lots, then that is then you know what, that baby's a smart baby. And I mean both the baby inside her and her. I don't know. I think that it's funny. Okay. It is hilarious how embarrassing this situation should be for Luke. And yet, in all of his like dealings and all of his like internet stuff, and every time he's been on a tell all, he doesn't seem to really sit in it. Even this season, he's like, I just let a 20-year-old yell at me. And it's like, oh no, it's not just yell at you, buddy. Like, you let a 20-year-old like eviscerate you in front of the entire public, and then you lick her ass afterward. That's what you've been doing. It's I mean, if I was his dad, I would never have allowed this. I'd be like, I don't even want to film with you, buddy. I don't know what I did wrong, but it's shitty. It's making us look bad. Um, okay, so Luke admits that she's a smart girl and she knows what she wants. So why can't he see that she doesn't want him? So let's move on to Jenny and Sumit. Okay, so Jenny, this is okay. So let me just say this. The streets of the internet, which is Reddit and Instagram and TikTok, have let the following news story happen. Jenny's daughter does a live and she speaks about Jenny having some health issues. And she also speaks about it's like a medical she called it a medical crisis or a medical something like medical situation or a medical problem. And she also said that she was taking care of it. And she was like, if you know me, know that I'm on it. Okay. Now, from that moment in that live, the streets, Reddit, everyone is like, the medical emergency they start to claim is a stroke. And because one person said it, and because like the verbiage of the video was vague, people just start running wild with the idea that Jenny has had a stroke, a mini stroke, a stroke of some kind. Now, it makes Jenny's daughter have to go back on the internet and be like, I never fucking said stroke. So you guys are crazy. She didn't say stroke. It's true. I wonder why she said anything at all. Okay. So I went to the 90-day holiday party. I'm sorry that I've said it 14 times, but Jenny was there, okay? Jenny was there, and it was, like, surprising, right? Jenny lives in India. Also, I didn't know why Jenny was there because the people that were there are probably going to be on future seasons of 90-day shows that are going to be rolled out. I don't wanna give anything away, but we all know we all know that Single Life exists, right? And, like, The Last Resort exists, right? And Hunt for Love exists, right? Like, we know those things. So, for some of the podcasters that were there, as we're like putting together like the guest list, we're like, oh, I wonder, is this person going to be on the Single Life coming up? Is this person going to be on this? Like, why are these particular people at the holiday party? Because I will tell you that not everyone was invited. I don't know how. I didn't know exactly how this was going to work because the only other party I've been to was a promo party for Hunt for Love, right? And so, of course, the Hunt for Love cast was there, and not even the whole Hunt for Love cast. Only the people that were previous 90-day people were at this small party premiere for Hunt for Love. So, at the holiday party, at first it was like, well, who gets to come? Is it the entire multiverse? There's a lot of people, but it's not. It's only a certain amount of people that were there. And it's basically Stacy. I told you this, but whatever. I'll just go through it now. Stacy, Florian, Darcy, Georgie, Jamal, Josh, Rob, the bad boys, Kalani, her sister, Colini. And I was like, don't tell Kalani that you've been calling Colini Kaluni this whole time. Don't say it. I didn't. Only you guys. Thais was there. Patrick was supposed to be there. Emily, Kobe was there. Vanya, whatever. Ed. Maybe that's it. Okay, so, and then Jenny. So, again, when Jenny's there and she's on the other way right now, and she lives in India, I was like, why is Jenny here? Because, and I said this to her. So her daughter's married, right? But we don't see her daughter all the time. So at some point I told Jenny, I was like, oh, you're here. Like, why are you here? Like, is someone like your daughter going to be on Single Life is what I said. Because I didn't know why. Also, Jamal, obviously, is the son of Kimbali. And obviously, Jamal dated Veronica, which is a whole other crazy breaking news story of the 90-Day Fiance multiverse of Veronica and Tim. And so it isn't like kids don't come on the show. So, and I really was trying to piece together. Now, the Veronica, Tim, Usman, Jamal situation is a whole other 90-Day Fiance shit show mega megaverse news story, which is that basically, this is like, now I'm all over the place. Veronica was arrested with her boyfriend, or the cops were called for a domestic violence altercation. And then Jamal jumped on and was like, you guys thought I ghosted her, but it's because you don't know the whole story. And was also like pointing fun at that. And I just thought that was shitty. And then Usman was like, you're not good either, buddy, because you pretended to be my friend and then came with your mom and then we hung out and then you go home and say that I'm a fucking con artist. I'm no saint. And he spells saint hilariously, but also like, you're not shit. And then Jamal cancels a live where I guess he was going to talk about it all. And at the same time, Veronica's like last post on her Instagram is one of those like, if someone tells you in your 20s when you're in your 30s that you're going to say yes to someone on Bumble, blah, blah, blah. It's one of those like trends of like, my life turned out unexpectedly great, which is a shitty TikTok trend to make a boastful video about your relay about like 2 days before this shit happens. Mess. Okay, back. So now I'm with Jenny at the 90 Day Fiance party. And I'm like, why are you here? Single life? No. And she's like, oh, I don't know. Now, this is where she distracts me. Jenny is the only person at the party that's like, I know you. I've been watching you on YouTube for years. And I was like, what? And she did. And I like will never forget that she was so kind, that she actually knew me. I was like, yes, Jenny. But now knowing that she might have had some needs for some, medical expertise, I do wonder if maybe that's one of the reasons why she was in America. Sumit wasn't there, obviously. I don't know the exact reason why Sumit can't have his visa. I don't know exactly why, but obviously he doesn't. Maybe they are going to be on an episode of something coming up, and maybe that's the reason why she was there. When I saw Jenny, she definitely looked like she had lost weight from this season of 90 Day Fiance that she's on now. But I will absolutely say that, like, her, her facilities were absolutely present. This is, so whatever she's going through, I obviously like wish the best for her. And I also know that it can probably be like a very shitty media landscape for someone who's like not well versed like her daughter. But I will say that there was probably no need for her daughter to say that there was a medical problem. And so therefore, um, yay. Therefore, people like going back and forth on what it was bound to happen if you're going to make a comment that's like that vague for no reason. So, but why this is awkward is because whatever her medical emergency is, she's definitely, God bless, seasoned. She's getting up there. And I love her for it. I mean, God bless, the best for us all. Like, the best thing that could possibly happen is for us to age, right? But I, at the same time, like, don't want to make fun of an elderly lady for working and then not being able to, like, do all that's asked of her on TV. Why am I bringing this up? Because the entire scene we get for Jenny and Sumit is that Jenny and Sumit are at the family cafe, which no longer exists, doesn't even exist anymore. And she has been tasked with the arduous task of making the espresso drinks, like on the espresso machine. Now, not just that, she also has to do all the monetary transactions. To me, that's already too much. To me, that's too much. Jenny, God bless her, at this ripe age, if she's working at a restaurant, she should be doing nothing more so than just hosting with a chair there. She can smile at people and then use her arm to like gesticulate to the restaurant where all her task should be is, hi, welcome, this way. And then people can walk in and go to their goddamn seat. But I don't feel like, I'm not like, oh, this woman should be making all the coffee and grinding the beans and then frothing the milk and then doing the math in her head and getting the change and stuff like that. To me, This is just another shining example of Sumit not doing his shit. Sumit didn't find a cafe with a working water spout. And then he blamed his parents, who aren't professional chefs. And now he's going to blame Jenny because his idea of like having a cafe is to have his dad have a bunch of cash on one side and then for him to have contactless payment on his phone. And who the fuck knows what he's doing? If he has that, then he's the one that should be there taking all the orders. If you're the one that has the phone that you can pay, you're the one taking the orders then. And you're the one you're the one taking the money. Take the order, take their money. If they have cash, great. You can go run back to your dad, get that, or you use your phone. But like, I felt like they had set her up for failure. And Jenny was like, I already told you I wasn't going to deal with money. That's on you, buddy. And he's like, what's so, you have to do basic math. The whole thing is, of course, is that they have people come and they're like, here's $100 and the coffee's $60. This is not it. Can you imagine? But that instead, and then they gave her $100 bill. And instead of giving them back $40, what she did is gave them back the full 100, right? Now, the dad's there watching her do all the work. Sumit's there, I don't know, maybe talking to some people at a picnic table. There's not, even if this moment happened with Jenny at the party where she's like, Chris, I know you and I love you. I've been watching on YouTube. She didn't really say I love you, but maybe she did. Even if that moment hadn't happened, even if the moment on the internet of her having a medical problem that could hinder her from like having all of her facilities, if those two things didn't happen, I still would be on her side. She shouldn't be working. And no one should understand that more than Sumit. Because Sumit's parents know that she shouldn't be working. It's why they got mad at her. I'm sorry, they got mad at him for dating an elderly woman in the first place. Because elderly women have lived a beautiful life and their work is done. Their work is done. And taking on a dependent like that can be, it's a choice. The way that we treat the elderly in society is shitty. And, obviously, if you come from different countries, family obligations and the way that family infrastructure works often can provide a comfortable space for people as they age that, not everyone always has. And in America, when we don't have like that kind of like obligatory family ties, I don't know, it can be, I know that it's very scary. And I wonder what's going to happen with Jenny. Because her daughter's very much like, I'm doing the most. If you know me, like, I'm on this with my mom. We know, so it's like, if Jenny was having a medical situation, I wonder what would happen. I wonder if Jenny would have to move back to America and live with her daughter. I don't know. But I do think these are the conversations that I wish they were having on the show. Like, I wish that she had a conversation with Sumit, being like, what happens when I need to get things done? And what happens if that only can happen in America? And what if I can't travel back? What happens? Like, don't you want to see that? Like, don't you want to know that answer a lot more than whether she can give change in Indian rubies or whatever the fuck it is? Because there's no world in which I think that she's going to be a professional coffee maker. And I'm not really caring about how, like, this family cafe works, mostly because we know it's already closed. It does seem like they were like, Jenny Sumit, do you want to be on this season of The Other Way? And they were like, yes, yes, yes. And they're like, great, great, great. Now, what are we going to do? Well, we love when you guys live together because, it brings in, natural problems. The funny thing is, it's like they didn't lean into them living together. It's like then they were like, but on top of that, let's came up with a cafe. But then, like, it felt like the producers just used AI and was like, okay, great, they'll have a cafe. What's the name of the cafe, AI? And they chat fucking GPT was like, Family Cafe. And they're like, good, Family Cafe. Great, great, great. Great name, great title. Gets right to the fucking point. Obvious. And it really, didn't, it really wasn't real. That's why I didn't have to have like water. I felt like they really just put up like a tent and decided to like for a week pretend they sold coffee from that. I don't know where that coffee machine is now. Rowhead has it, honey. Rowhead. I think that is also, yeah, it's just the most interesting part of this entire season to me has been, well, they really don't drink coffee in India. Not at all. Yeah, espresso machines are just not a thing. Fresh beans. No one grinds beans. Like they're just saying no, it's like no need for coffee. Like, hmm. Okay. Um, I realized I didn't look at any of my notes. Oh, I want to say one more thing about the family cafe. Okay, this family cafe scene, right? Didn't also feel like, and this is a very specific thing. Have you ever played one of those dumb app games where it's like you have to fill in orders? Maybe it's a hotel, maybe it's a hamburger stand, but it's always the exact same. You're playing someone and you have to flip the burgers, and then yeah, a customer comes up and then you sell the patties, but then over here you got to like, bake more bread for the burgers. And then over here you got to clean the bathrooms, and it's like the customers start coming in and out, you get more money, the customers start going crazy. There's parts of this in-app game where fucking shit hits the fan and then everything is everything. Not like Lauren Hill, but like everything hits the wall and it's bad. This is exactly like what it felt like this scene was. It felt like Jenny was like made one cup of coffee and then there was one customer, and that if we were to watch the scene happen, suddenly there'd be more customers and suddenly Jenny be like, oh, I don't know, okay, and then coffee would just start be spilling over. People would get like angry question marks over their head that are sitting in line, like, what's taking so long? Like that kind of stuff. I wish I could tell you that I haven't played one of those games, and I wish I could tell you that I never. My dad's here. I'm in London right now, like I said, and my dad is on my Facebook Live listening to me talk about this show. Is he going to say anything about the show? Is he going to be like, Chris, great job talking about this show? No, he's going to say, I can't sleep. Like, I should do anything about that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just run. Get the man a melatonin. Okay. I love him. I love my dad. I'm just playing. He should know I'm a jokester. Okay. So anyway, God bless. Jenny's not getting any tips. That's the other thing. She's not getting one tip. It's not a culture of tipping. So she's doing all that for what? Just to be more tired at the end of the day, just to have her husband yell at her. And also she was like, I told you I'm not going to be dealing with money. You're crazy. You're the one that's Delulu. And he is. I just don't even want to hear him talk about basic math or make her feel bad about it. Basic math? How about basic hospitality? Like, get someone with a register who knows how to take payments right there so you don't have to run around hounding you when someone wants to boop boop, use Apple Pay. Okay, we have one more couple left. The couple is Greta and Matthew. My goodness, are the streets loud with Greta and Matthew. Now, one Reddit user was like, I'm Greta's friend. And the way that this person described Greta's situation was basically that Greta got the ick, got the ICK, got that IC, no way out of here, except to get the fuck out. So the way that it's working is that she's lying. So at this point, though, she's laying in shock. And she's wearing like a red PJ pant and she has like a white gift bag. And I'm like, okay, girl, what's in that gift bag? Is it something for Hazel, your cat? She's like, I left my boyfriend Hazel and here is some English catnip. I don't know. She says that she left a great guy and it's freaking her out. Then we see him. Now, I mean, what a shot. Matthew is going through it. He just ends up what looks like meanders in the Shire. Like he is just walking down this green pathway. Wherever he is, honey, hasn't seen a sun in days. He's really upset. He is just like dumbfounded. He's blindsided. He says the following thing. He couldn't sleep. He discovered a new feeling, sheer and complete sadness and loneliness. Heartbreak. He talks to his dad. His dad is a man that is very pink man. And his dad's like, it's been 4 days, and I'm not a fan of this. I don't know if I'm a big fan of what Greta's done. The entire time his dad talks to him, his dad is someone who keeps his hand close to his heart. He plays his cards close to his heart. His dad is like very like, his dad has the physical mannerisms of like Blanche Dubois being accused of being a whore. Blanche Dubois in Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire is in fact a prostitute. But she's like, how dare you? And that's the joke. He very much like the whole time is like, I couldn't. Greta, let me tell you, son, what you should do. It was like, what are you doing with these hands, buddy? Like, put them down, like, are we going to sing an opera? What is happening? His dad is dramatic. Listen, Matthew's going through it. And Matthew the whole time was like, Mom, Dad, Grandma, like I've met the love of my life, and like she's vegan, she's great, she's American, and like she's moving here. And obviously 4 days have gone by, and now he's like, the love of my life, the vegan American, like, turn around and can't stand me in the face. And I'm sure it's a hard pill to swallow, and even more difficult to understand if you made that person and you're wondering why anyone would reject the person that you made. That's what I think. Sometimes parents, Dad, you can tell me if I'm right, look at their children as little mini mirrors of them. So I'm pretty sure that when Greta is like, I don't want this person, his dad is like, you don't want me? Unheard of. So anyway, his dad is upset. And he's like, some things are worth fighting for, son. And Matthew's like, that's just it, Dad. There was never any fights. And his dad's like, yeah, the fight starts now. Matthew's like, I just think Greta thinks that love should just be all fairy tales and, butterflies and all that stuff. No, but at the same time, you guys are quite early on in your relay, which is like the 19th time I've used that word today. I'm mad about it. But like, you're also young and, you haven't seen each other in a long time. So although you can't expect there always to be roses, you have to also feel a certain connection. He does, she doesn't. Whether he does or doesn't and is trying to like just pretend that it exists because he hasn't felt a lot of connection before romantically with other females, and therefore this one seems chiefly important, if not paramount to everything, we don't know. We can say, oh, Greta got the ick. She got the ick who knows when, but it probably didn't help when you didn't drive to go pick her up from the airport and made her take all those trains with all that luggage. And then when you saw her, you were like, you smell. And then when you got her back to your house, you were like, here, put all of your things in half of this one drawer. I know that if I moved across the entire world to someone who wouldn't even pick me up from the airport and then told me I smelled, I don't know how I would get anything happening anywhere downstairs, to make that work for me. You don't want to, yeah, it's just, that energy isn't attractive. It's interesting what gives people the ick, right? Like what turns people off. And like, I wonder if he knows, or I wonder if any female in his life told him upon watching that like he should have made some different moves. And I love Greta and Matthew because I truly think that they're like a real couple. So much so that wildly interested to see. I'm wildly, oh, at some point your video is out of sync. Oh no. Oh, I love you. So sorry, my loves. Um, it's because of the Wi-Fi I'm on. It's London's Wi-Fi, honey. They don't know how to do Wi-Fi in England. Blame the king. Okay. I can't wait for the tell-all because I truly want someone, I hope it's Sean or Suni. I want someone to be like, Matthew, why didn't you just go pick her up from the airport? I just said this in a text. Okay, this is true. Okay, let me say this. Yay. Okay. I get the ick. I get super turned off by passive energy from men. I'm saying men because I'm like, whatever, heterosexual, cisgender, and he could be anyone. From romantic interests, I hate passive energy. I hate just super casualness. Like, I detest it. I think it's like probably one of the reasons why I'm single. I said this in a text. So know this. Know that this is my life. Know that on Hinge, like someone liked me that I know, like in real life, like we have mutual friends and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this person liked me. We have mutual friends. We're in like a similar circle. So then at a party, but okay, so this person likes me. And I like this person back. I'm like, oh, hey, whatever. This happens like the week before Thanksgiving. Okay. It's now mid-December. Over the weekend on Saturday, I go to a party. I see our mutual friends. I'm like, in mid conversation, I'm like, oh my God, I fucking forgot. I'm like, oh my God, I fucking forgot. This person that we both know liked me on Hinge. They liked me on Hinge. And then I write back to that person, actually use words to be like, hey, blah, 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 whatever I say. And then a whole month has gone by and this person never wrote back. Okay, whatever, God bless. So I tell this to the mutual friend. And they're like, oh my God, that's so crazy, like blah, 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 blah. And they call the person and they text the person like, blah, bitty blue, Chris liked you. Um, and this person has not written me back yet on Hinge. And I'm telling you that I'm already icked now. Like, the fact that this person was told that I was like in their folders having liked them, and the fact that this person now, having known that, hasn't liked me back, it makes me do what I'm about to do right now, which is unfucking match them. I know, and I mean this, I 100% know that if I give you the opportunity to share my company or have my attention, and that you mismanage that over a period of time, I won't be able to deal with it. I won't be able to handle it. It will turn me off. So, anyway, unmatch. When you like someone, I think it's important for you to give of yourself, like your energy, just your time. Like, there was no reason for Matthew not to pick up Greta from the airport. That's your boo. She just came from America. You have nothing to do. You're on TV. It's such a shitty look. It makes you look so lazy. Like, and they're engaged, right? Like this person that just like whatever. This person on Hinge doesn't owe me anything. And I know that. God bless. Matthew certainly owed Greta. So to me, I understand suddenly realizing that someone's energy is shitty, is gross, is like not going to be it. It's not going to be in there for the long haul. You can't rely on that energy. It's not reliable. It's not consistent. And there's something preventing this person from being secure and confident in their choices. You know what I'm saying? Go get your girlfriend you haven't seen in 6 months from the airport. Anyway, do you give grace to to people on the spectrum? I feel like I'm on the spectrum. um, so I'm gonna tell you this. Yes and no. I will give grace for sure. Like I don't hate this person, and if this person and it's all this person, I'd be like, hey. Now, do I know intrinsically that this person isn't for me as like a romantic person now? Yes. Yeah. I think that if you're given the opportunity to know that you can have my attention and you don't take it within a reasonable amount of time, it makes me feel like you won't have the strength to ever be with me as like a partner and or anyone that I could like rely on or have like safety with. To me, if you like me and I like you and then you pretend or you are not able to like act on that, it's neither so much like a problem, it's just that you've already shown me you can't act on it. The grace is God bless. I know that you can probably act on it with someone else. It's obviously just not me though. So for me and you, I'm just going to take myself out of the situation. Let you find someone that you are so into that your action cannot help but happen. I like to think that like if you like someone, like if you truly like someone, you want their company. You want to see them. Like if you this is this stupid person, whatever, I don't give a shit. But like there's I think so many times in which you are talking to someone and they're just like easily not going to text you back. And you're like, days go by and you're like, okay, well, I guess that just didn't happen. Okay, okay. All right. Well, I didn't hear from you. Oh, it's because you didn't text back. I don't know. This whole dating situation is really hard. But at the same time, like, you have to show care and take care of someone in your life. Like, if you want that person to know that you care about them, you have to show it. I mean, and I think that naturally people do. I don't think that Matthew doesn't care for Greta, but I don't think that he's right for her. I don't think that he's emotionally strong enough and or ready for her. I don't think he's ready, I think that she would feel resentment for what he's not doing. Maybe he'll find out what he has to do by being in more relationships, or maybe he'll find a relationship with someone who doesn't require the things that Greta does. You know what I'm saying? I require someone who has no problem letting me know they like me or like just validates me. And so, I choose to read energy in such a way and yeah, I just can't abide. I can't abide things, so I can't imagine she can. And also, I didn't even move to like a different country. Anyway, it's also a little interesting that we're supposed to now be okay with Matthew being like, "Hey dad, will you talk to my girlfriend for me?" I don't know if my dad is still watching this stream. I don't want him to talk to a man on my behalf. And I would abhor if a man that I was dating was like, I really need to talk to my dad. I need my dad to get through to you. I'd be like, I'm not talking to your dad. The fuck about our relationship. I'm not talking to a mom about a relationship. I'm not talking to a dad about a relationship. That's crazy. I when I saw this, I was like, okay, is any of Matthew's parents going to talk to him about him being coddled or how he should put his big boy pants on? I don't know. I just couldn't. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me. That was the end of the episode because, yeah, we're supposed to, see what's going to happen with them. Obviously, Dylan and Petia weren't on it, but we're going to get more of them later. We also had no Chloe and Johnny, and that's okay. That's fine. I think that they intrinsically knew that the Johnny Chloe storyline began and ended with her mom being there. It is interesting how they are not fun to watch without her. Maybe I like the scene with Chloe when she told off his friend, but still, they're not like a couple that's like an entertaining watch by themselves. They're only good with other people. And I think it's because we all know it's never going to work. No, it's like not going to work at all. Not at all. Someone told me that someone on Reddit told me my eyes as I read it on Reddit that they saw her at a Pilates studio in Boston. Let's go with their hair. All right, my loves. It's 11:15 in London. I'm going to have to call it a night because I do have to go to bed, but it's been such a pleasure talking to you guys. If you haven't yet, please like this video. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment after it goes up. It really helps me, my algorithm, of course. On YouTube, I got my monetization back, so you can leave a super chat if you want. You don't have to. But you might see ads now. I'm going to try and make sure they're not like overwhelming, but I don't put them in myself because it's the only AI thing I am okay with. But thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot. And, we're not ended yet. We're going to do all of our ends, all of our good breaths. Such a pleasure to hang out and see with you guys. We're going to breathe 2 breaths, a rehearsal breath, and then, of course, our breath all together. And what we're doing is the following things. We're A, breathing. Must be nice. B, letting out of bad juju, bad energy, and breathing in all that's good. And the C thing is that we get to 21 people or 18. It kind of keeps going around, jumping around. Whoever's in the room right now, whoever is in the room, it's nice to think that we are all over the world right now because technically I'm in London. So I'm assuming at least 10 people are in America. That we are all together. And as we breathe, in this very moment, we're all doing it together. Because this is real. Because I'm not AI. Because you aren't AI. Because even though we're not like, face to face, you're at my face and I'm staring back at my own face. It is sort of like magical that we get to know that we exist together in this space and time. And so I think it's just a reminder, like I kind of like, what is this breath to me? It's a reminder that you're not alone, specifically in this moment, that we're all together breathing, and that in the moments that happen after, your mind will wander and we'll get into whatever we're doing to like live our lives, but we give ourselves like a little break to just enjoy this very present moment together as we've talked an hour and 15 minutes about a very dumb show that was like only an hour long itself. What the fuck did I talk about the whole time? My own love life. How many times did I talk about the holiday party? A lot. All right, my loves. 2 breaths. Okay, get it all out. Rehearsal breath. Bring it in. Let it all out. And this is it, the real breath we take all together because we are, in fact, spending time and energy together. Thank you. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for hearing this dumb voice with no microphone over weird Wi-Fi, I'm sure. And like a light that's sort of flickering on and off as if it's a candlelight. It's not. It's a bedside lamp turned on its side. But coming up If you haven't yet, please watch and like my YouTube video or listen on the RSS feed of Vanity Fair and give 5 stars to the 90-day Fiance before the 90 days episode I got to do with Keisha of the Libra Lounge. So we broke down that up, and that was such a very fun conversation. I'm sure you'll love it. Go watch that. Tell me what you think. Please like this video after it goes up. Please give me a comment and I will absolutely write back. I can't wait to. Of course, you can follow me. I'm at Chris L. Farah on Instagram. I am at Chris L. Farah on TikTok. And I put up 2 very fun videos on TikTok. So God bless it. And the Facebook group is Vanity Farah. Of course, the name of my podcast. Please give me 5 stars. Said that already. Also, you can like my page, Chris Farah, on Facebook. So all of that exists, plus a Substack, plus a Patreon. It's like I'm bleeding on the internets for fans. I'm Jamal. All right, my loves. Okay. Take care of yourselves and one another. Stand up for what you believe and make art. Even if all the art is one present moment. All right. I'll talk to you later. I love you, Christina. Dad, if you're still listening, I hope you go to bed. Thank you so much for being here. It was so nice to hang out. Me amo Chris. Obviously, me too. Y mi también. And also Marie and everyone else. Bye, Amsterdam. I'm enjoying our Europe. Bye, Joslo. Thank you so much. Bye, Tina Nader. Bye, 1,000 PCs. Okay.